Welcome one, welcome all. It is time for another exciting edition, you say entrega, of the show with no name on the one and only Vaughn Radio. And folks, it is time for liftoff.
T-minus 10, 9,
Come on,
8,
count down
7,
with me. I need
6,
you.
5,
This
4,
isn't a passive
3,
English class.
2,
Get involved.
1, 0.
Involúcrate.
Ignition.
Say, envíate.
30 minutes after the hour.
Come on, come on. Come on. Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show. It's Show with No Name time. Where? On Vaughn Radio. Oh, cool. I love Vaughn Radio. Let's go. Come on. I need you. I need you to bring the thunder. Bring the thunder, thunder. Come on, amigos. Show with no namers all around the world. Welcome aboard. It is time for another amazing, awe-inspiring, asombroso, awe-inspiring episode of the Show with No Name, where you're going to learn, I'm going to learn, we're going to learn together, we're going to play, we're going to laugh, and we're going to do a little bit of all that stuff that makes us feel good. Enriching ourselves, making friends, laughing, learning. What else could you ask for? Oh, well, I guess maybe a nice cup of chai tea or a cup of Joe. A cup of Joe is una taza de café. It's a totally native way to say it. And as you know, here on the show, we teach you totally native ways to say things in English. You don't just learn grammar and phrasal verbs and blah, 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 blah. But we learn how to think in English, how to play, and how to elaborate, expandir nuestras ideas. And today, folks, we've got a section that's going to be tons of fun. It's Learn with Lara, Class 3, Lesson 3. And you know what they say? The third time's a charm. A la tercera va la vencida. So later on in the show, we're going to learn with my daughter, cooking. Oh yeah, what's cooking? Good looking. As Born to Iron Man said yesterday, welcome aboard, my amigos. Are you ready for some fun? Well, I just want to remind you, we've got an exciting event right around the corner. Guess who's hosting our upcoming Vaughn Radio Trivia Night?
My name's Richard Vaughn. It's a real pleasure to meet you.
You guessed it. None other than the one and only Richard Vaughn. Join us on Wednesday, December 13th at 8:30 p.m. We're gonna have fun. We'll laugh. We'll play. You'll meet your favorite Vaughn Radio presenters and your fellow students. And there are even prizes for the winning team. So don't miss it. Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. Hosted by the one and only Richard Vaughn. Wednesday, December 13th at Roll Madrid, Calle de Amaniel 23. It's gonna be tons of fun. We'll see you there, folks. Vaughn Radio Trivia Night, hosted by the one and only Richard Vaughn. And also a reminder of this week's question of the week. Question of the week. That's right, amigos. It's question of the week. And as always, this is where we pose a question every week. It's a different question, and we solve it at the end of the week. So that's Friday. You've got until Thursday to participate. Again, a nice round of applause to all of you who have participated already. And that is Carmen, Laura, Maria Jose, Mario, Marisol, Kubla. You guys have already participated. So again, wonderful. If you want to participate before Thursday evening, send me a 1-minute voice message, and you can send it to my work email, which is aalonso@grupovon.com. aalonso@grupovon.com. And there you guys can participate. Again, always introduce yourself. And then this week, you have to tell us when you feel the most alive. So when you're doing what? When you're with whatever person, right? There's no wrong answer with this. The idea here in this section is to express yourself in English and obviously with some clarity. And I can help you guys as well. And if you're looking for additional help, well, just remember, guys, we've got so many different options here at Vaughn. You can go to our website, grupovon.com, and you'll find out right now we've got a special deal on Vaughn groups. Do you know about Vaughn groups? Well, I'm going to tell you all about them. They are group English classes that you can do via video conference or in person. And the good news is you can start whenever you want. And you can keep the same timetable, teacher, and classmates throughout the whole course. And the best part, there's no strings attached. Sin compromiso. And if you act now, you can get a 5% discount for paying up front. And if you stick with the course for 6 months, you'll get a 50% discount in June. Wow, what a deal! As if you needed more reasons to learn English with Vaughn. Check out our Vaughn groups. Have fun and make friends as you learn English. Sign up now while there are still spots available. Call us 911-385831. Or you can go to our website, grupovon.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media and find out if Vaughn groups are for you. That's right, folks. More information at grupovon.com, or just follow us on social media, and this way we can interact. And speaking of a little interaction, I think it's time for today's Pop Quiz. Pop Quiz. Pop Quiz. Come on, let's do the remix together. Pop Quiz. Pop Quiz. Improvise, wing it. Quiz. Yeah. Hands up. Let's go. Don't hold on. It's not as much fun. Woo! Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. That's right, amigos. That's right. It is our pop quiz here on the show with no name. And as always, we're going to take a look at something Vaughn related. So that can be one of our other programs, social media posts, or materials. And today we are going to take a look at something from my first book, my first baby, even before Lara. It was English Everywhere. And wow, I can't believe it. This book, I don't even remember when it came out. Let's see if it says it here. 2013? Is that when it came out? Or is this a reissue over here? Yeah, 2013, I guess. Wow. Guys, that is 10 years ago. I can't believe my first book, English Everywhere, is celebrating its 10th anniversary. That is absolutely mind-blowing. Thanks to all of you who have the book. And if you don't have it, man, you got to get it. It's really useful. I think you guys will really enjoy the book. You've got a bunch of different chapters. And as always, you've got your practical vocabulary, your expressions, but also the book is sprinkled with false friends, and it's got a lot of useful stuff. So common mistakes you'll find littered throughout, pronunciation things. So it's, I think of it like this. It's a guidebook, right? Uno de estos que te ayuda con frases útiles, but it goes a step further. So it's a guidebook for people who are trying to communicate in English, specifically Spanish speakers. And that's why we call it English Everywhere, because as you know, with my daughter and my whole MO, my whole modus operandi is to teach anywhere and everywhere. Yeah, why not? Today, we're going to be in the kitchen in the Learn with Lara section of the show. And in the kitchen is chapter 24 of English Everywhere. So if you don't have my first book, pick it up. It's extremely useful, and it comes with audio. And right now, we're going to hear some of that audio. In fact, I figured it was quite appropriate to take a look at a little excerpt from the cooking chapter. So if you have the book, great stuff. If you don't, no big deal. It's chapter 24. You should pick up the book. You can get it at vontienda.com. All right, everybody, here it is. I'm going to have you listen to this. And then, as always, I will have a challenge for you. Now, if I sound like a young kid, it's probably because I was. This was 10 years ago now. So here we go. English Everywhere. And we're going into the kitchen. And we'll start with an expression that I really, really love. Before we get into it, if you can't take the heat, stay out of the kitchen or get out of the kitchen. And in this case, heat is pressure. So if you're complaining, oh, well, this is difficult. Oh, listen, if somebody's whining or complaining, you tell them, if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen or stay out of the kitchen. So here we go, folks. This is a little warm up for our lesson with Lara, which was recorded in the kitchen. Well, this was recorded over 10 years ago. It's from my first book, English Everywhere. Listen carefully, and then I have a challenge or two for you up ahead. English Everywhere. All right. Well, if you can't take the heat, then stay out of the kitchen. That's right. Si no puedes con la presión, lárgate de la cocina. Es una expresión que usamos en inglés cuando alguien se empieza a quejar de una situación. Dice, if you can't take the heat, si no puedes aguantar el calor, fuera de la cocina. Y significa, si no puedes con la presión, lárgate, porque aquí no pintas nada. All right. Well, today we're going into the kitchen. Nos vamos a la cocina. Y como mi cocina no tiene muchas cosas, yo tengo cerveza, fuet y 3 cosas más. Nos vamos a casa de mi amiga Leila, que tiene la nevera repleta. She has got a full fridge, tons of food, all kinds of stuff, fresh produce, poultry, fish, cereal. You've got the 4 food groups, don't you?
That's right.
Well, Layla is an awesome chef. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Layla Chapoy. What's up, Layla?
Hey, hello. How are you?
Okay, great. I'm hungry. I heard you were cooking up a storm, cocinando a tope aquí. Is that true?
That's right. That's my way to tone down after a long day.
Nice. I like that one, to tone down, to wind
down. Literalmente, to wind up es darle cuerda. Entonces, to wind down is quitarle. So you relax. Now, a lot of people say to me, I don't like cooking. It's the worst. Blah, blah. But for me, cooking is relaxing. It's almost zen. Like, would you agree?
Totally. This is what I do. Okay, this is my little ritual. I get home from work, I put down my things, I change my clothes, I wash my hands, I go into the kitchen, I crank up some good music, and I start cooking away.
Oh, wow. Sounds lovely. Now, what are you making for us today?
Well, I thought I'd make some lasagna for you.
Oh, lasagna. But we don't want bad lasagna, malasagna. All right, bad joke. Bad joke. Malasagna, bad. Okay, never mind. All right, well, so lasagna is your specialty dish. Is that true?
Well, it's one of my specialty dishes,
All right.
yes.
Now, I know that you get this cooking bug, este bicho, este mono, como decimos, this cooking bug from someone in your family. And I know that woman, and that's your mom, Consuelo. Hi,
That's right.
Consuelo.
That's right. That's right. Hi, Mom.
All right. So now tell me this, and I've eaten Consuelo. Is there a genre? I'm sorry, or a kind of food that Consuelo doesn't make? She makes Thai food. She makes Japanese food. She makes Italian food. She makes Spanish food. She makes everything. Is there any kind of food that your mother doesn't know how to make?
No. She can make any kind of food, any kind of food. Now she's really gotten into. We went to Morocco last year together. I went with my mom and my dad, and she's really into Moroccan food now, making Moroccan
Wow.
pastries,
Yum.
different types of couscous, all kinds of different things.
Wow, I'm hungry now.
That's right. Well, she taught me. She taught me the art of
Right.
cooking, and she taught me the passion. And also, well, I like to eat well. And
Right.
if you like to eat well, there's nothing better than cooking whatever you feel like eating.
All right. Awesome stuff. Awesome. So cooking, I mean, we need to eat, so it's a necessity. So we might as well, ya que estamos, we might as well have fun and eat a lot of good food. All right, folks, there you go. A little chat with Layla Chapoy. She used to be on Vaughn Radio, a great friend of mine. As you heard, a friend of the family as well. She's like me. She's American and Spanish, and her brother Ricky is one of my best friends. I lived with him as a roommate. The British say flatmate. We say roommate for I don't know how many years, but I'll tell you what, I was writing English everywhere. And if you haven't heard the audio, it's because you don't have the book. So get the book, download the audio, and learn tons of English with my first book ever, English Everywhere. All right, I've got 3 idiomatic expressions I'm going to ask you for now, and they all have to do with cooking. We already said, what's cooking, right? Que se cuece, I think you say. What's cooking? And if you want to make it funny, what's cooking? Good looking. All right, but there was another one I said in there. Some of these I said in there, and some of them are in the book. You either know them or not. The first one, and I'm going to give you 3 challenges in our pop quiz. The first one, I said, cocinando a tope, a saco, sin parar, no? So, for example, the definition of this is to perform whatever action with great enthusiasm and energy. So you could use it with singing too. Oh, yesterday he was singing a saco, a tope, con todo lo que tiene. So there's the first one. I said it about her mom. I said it about her. I said, oh, I know you. You're always cocinando a tope, ¿no? Como hay que hacerlo, con entusiasmo, con ganas, right? And so that's your first expression. The second one, is se reduce a. And this comes from something, reducir una salsa. Think about that, right? In Spanish too. So you can use that however you want. No, you can use them always in your own context. So se reduce a una cuestión de tiempo o lo que sea. You can use your own example, but I want se reduce a. Todo se reduce a algo así, okay? And then the last one, the third one, is an idiomatic expression that we use when we deprioritize something.
So when something was a priority, but now something else comes up, which always happens in life, you're like, this is the most important thing. And you're like, oop, you get a phone call. You're like, I got to deal with this. So you have to quitarle importancia a otra cosa, o protagonismo, o prisa, a una cosa. And it has to do with cooking. As I said, we've got so many idiomatic expressions that have to do with cooking. You've got English everywhere. That chapter on cooking. You've got an FYI episode on cooking. And today in our show, in our Learn with Lara section, we're going to be in the kitchen. I'm serious. It wasn't recorded in the studio. It was remastered in the studio, but it was recorded. No voy a decir la palabra. I'll say on the stove, pero no digo cada fogón porque ahí te ayudo con la tercera. All right, I'll help you. I don't care. We were cooking on the stove and we had two burners on. Te lo pongo en contexto. The stove es el vitro, la vitro, and the burner is each one, no el fogón. The burn makes sense, doesn't it? All right, let's see what you guys have to say in our pop quiz, and also we're gonna see who's in the house and ready to rock. Elena, what's up? How are you? Great to have you with us. She says, good morning, show with no namers. Let's make some magic this morning and put our best foot forward. Awesome expression, Elena. No, darlo todo, to put your best foot forward. I see you've already done that. Great job. Little Toys and Die. Hey, I love your name. You got my attention. Good morning to you too, Little Toys. Kubla says, morning, impeccable gang. This show is no swollen bubble. That's why I'll react on the double. And if I get to a slippery slope, don't fret. I'll still find some hope. Yes, a little poetry. Kubla feeling inspired this morning. There's Laura. Laura says, good morning, lovely show with no namers. Let's take the bull by the horns and learn and have a ball together. Laura, I love it, but I'm going to make a little adjustment. It's correct, but the word grab sounds like more aggressive. I like it in this case. So you can take the bull by the horns or you can grab it by the horns. I don't know. It just sounds like more forceful. And in the end, that's what we're trying to say in the idiomatic expression. Again, it is correct. These are just little nuances. Okay, Fabio. Fabio says, good morning, double A. Great to have you, Fabio. You really are an early bird. Guys, you're all making an effort here today. But you know what time it is in Colombia right now? Well, I think 6, 8. It's early. It's the middle of the night. I go walking in my sleep through the mountains of Colombia, through the river so deep. I must be searching for Fabio, my friend from Colombia. There's something so hot. I hope it was worth. Oh no, you're like, I woke up, man, just to hear that. Well, Fabio, a little shout out to you and thank you. He says, today I will do my best. And I'll tell you something, Fabio, just saying that, just reaffirming that, I know it's true. There's no doubt in my mind. There's Marisol. Marisol, we missed you dearly. I don't know if you were here yesterday. See, I'm always paying attention. It seems like I'm not paying attention, but I'm always paying attention. I'm on my toes. I'm on the ball. Dos formas de decir espabilado o al loro, to the parrot. Stay to the parrot. Estate al loro. That means pay attention or heads up, right? So Marisol, morning to you as well. Wow, the whole gang is here. Está toda la pandilla. But folks, right now we've got to go to our first commercial break. We've got so much to do today. I think you're really going to love the Learn with Lara section. If you're in my curious community, you've already heard it. Well, yeah, membership has its privileges. You get early access to stuff. You don't just get bonus stuff and exclusive stuff. but you get early access. Well, it happens. You know things, you find out about things before everybody else. I love that stuff. All right, folks, the show with no name, rocking and rolling here. Hope you're enjoying the show. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with the second part of today's show. So, stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 2 of today's show with no name on Vaughn Radio, where English is exciting, interactive, informative, and all that jazz. Don't forget, you've got Ximena Holiday and Test Your English. It's right after today's show. Right before today's show, you've got Fitz, the master, and his program, No Excuses. And don't forget about the wacky, chiflado Dave Boys and his program, The Salad. And you never know what to expect with Rob and Andy and their antics, sus payasadas, on the Lunchtime Show. That's right. And don't forget about our latest, greatest programs. Speak Up with Ruby. And Frankly Speaking with Chris Frank. Brand new shows here on Vaughn Radio. Download our free app, and this way you never miss a beat. No te pierdes ni un compás, que significa que no te pierdes ni una. Write that expression down. It's you never miss a beat if you have the Vaughn Radio app. Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. And the answer to today's Double Trouble Challenge is...
Otra vez. Mira que me encanta Vaughan Radio. Es una radio súper útil y variada. No solo aprendo inglés, sino que también aprendo un montón de curiosidades con Richard, Ruby, Kyle and Company. Lo único es que de repente la recepción la pierdo en el coche y me frustra un montón, porque estoy súper enganchado a esta radio.
No te frustres, Lucas.
¿Me oyes?
Claro que sí, te escuchamos. No te pierdas ni un minuto más de tus programas favoritos de Vaughan Radio con nuestra app gratuita. Solo tienes que buscar Vaughan Radio en donde te descargas tus apps favoritos. Y ¡voilà! Ya estás conectado a Vaughan 24/7, 365.
Vaya. Ostras, no sabía que existía la app. Me la voy a descargar ahora mismo. Muchas gracias. Thank you.
De nada. Hasta luego, Lucas. Acuérdate, además puedes descargar tus English Classes diarios de Vaughan Radio en todas las plataformas de podcast. Never miss a beat with the Vaughn Radio app. That's right, folks. Download it wherever you get the rest of your apps. And now it's time for the Say What soundbite.
Say what? What?
All right. Say What soundbite on the show with no name. With Christina and Laura and Fabio, Marisol, Elena, Kubla and Born. Little Toys, Elena, what's up? It's the Say What soundbite. And right now you're going to listen to a native speaker. I want you to tell me what you heard in your best English, as always. So dot your I's and cross your T's, folks. You're going to hear this twice now. And I'm sorry. What? I said I'm sorry. I just want to apologize in advance because I'll speak like Yoda. Easy, it is not. All right, well, let's just put it this way. It's challenging, and I think you might even know who it is, but that's not the important part. Two things you need to do. A, tell me what you heard in your best English. And B, if you can, after the 4 listens, tell me every single word you heard. Here we go. This is the Say What soundbite for the first time.
Unbelievable. I'm still in a state of shock right now. In fact, I don't think I'm going to be coming down for a long period of time. Yeah, reckless abandon is what I used to be. Yeah, but Elizabeth opened up my eyes and the big man right here, the big man. Yeah.
All right. I love it. Love that. Oh, man, really. I'll tell you what, brings back memories. Memories. Very fond memories. In fact, it reminds me I should do an FYI episode on this world that this is from. But I'm going to shut up now because I've got a big fucking mouth. All right, here we go. I'm going to give it to you a second time, and then we will discuss what you guys heard over here. All right, this is the Say What soundbite for the second time.
Unbelievable. I'm still in a state of shock right now. In fact, I don't think I'm going to be coming down for a long period of time. Yeah, reckless abandon is what I used to be. Yeah, but Elizabeth opened up my eyes and the big man right here, the big man. Yeah.
All right, there you go, folks. Oh, man. Sounds like the person's got quite a lot of energy, huh? A lot of spark. Mucha chispa. All right, let's go on over to our virtual classroom. We've got some people participating in our pop quiz, which today they were cooking expressions that had to do with cooking. There's a little cooking theme. Now, sorry to all of you whose mouths are watering. We always end up talking about food sooner or later. All right, let's see. We've got Kubla. Kubla says, I'm not for cooking up a storm. I'd rather eat out. Kubla, the first one is correct. On the weekends, perfect example. My example? On the weekends, because in my family, we don't really eat out very much. In fact, it's kind of weird because now when I eat out, like, I don't know, I always get an upset stomach. Things are greasy and salty, and I don't use salt. I used to eat out a lot. But now I love to cook up a storm. And on the weekends, because during the week it's hard, in my house, my wife and I, both of us, we are cooking up a storm. Okay? Una tormenta. You can use it too. And you know what my daughter's doing in the background? Para darte otro ejemplo. She's singing up a storm. Cantando a tope, a saco. Right? So great. I'm not for cooking up a storm. I'd rather eat out. Well, Kubla, too. One of the things about cooking at home is you got to clean up. But I've always been taught well there. Clean up as you go. You know, if you clean up as you go, well, then it's not as bad at the end. Makes it a little more bearable. Great example, Kubla. The second one, listening to Vaughn Radio boils down to learning and having fun. Yeah, it boils down to. Se reduce a. You can also say it comes down to, but I wanted you to use it boils down to. Great job. And the last one, I can't watch TV this morning. I have bigger fish to fry. It's not the one I had in mind, but yes, great one. Same idea. So you gave us tengo problemas más gordos ahora, which it's kind of, es decirlo en diferentes formas. Tengo que quitarle importancia a esto. But that's along the same lines. Wonderful job. Great. Elena, she says, cooking away. Cooking, that's another way to say it. A saco a tope. Man, she was cooking away all morning. She was singing away. Excellent, Elena. Everything boils down to having fun. Absolutely. When you're in the kitchen, it boils down to having fun. And she says, let's put that on the back burner. Yes. That's the expression I was looking for. Which means we've got bigger fish to fry right now. So we have to put that on the back burner. Tenemos que ponerlo en el fogón de atrás. Significa que ahora mismo no vamos a entender eso. Makes sense, doesn't it? So a lot of great expressions we can learn as we cook. And the best part about cooking, I mean, we just talked about the cons. You got to clean up, right? It's time consuming. But the best part is you know what you're eating, right? You don't have to leave it to chance and trust the guys at the restaurant. And also, obviously you make what you want when you want. Of course. Absolutely. Great job. Great. Oh, and if you crack a beer, te abres una cerve, well, then you're just having a good old time. You put on a record, un vinilo, and life is good, isn't it? And as I said, with my daughter and I, cooking is an experience. It's a lesson. You'll see today. I could have gone on. The lesson's about 5 or 6 minutes, but I could have gone on and on with this lesson because, well, cooking, there's a lot of vocabulary that comes up. As we said, you'll hear the word sizzle that we use also figuratively. We say in English, it's a marketing expression. You don't sell the steak, you sell the sizzle. No estás vendiendo el chuletón, estás vendiendo el chispotorreo, or however you say that. In English, it's an onomatopoeic word. Sizzle, right? All right, wonderful job, show with no namers. Fabio says it's 5 a.m. Oh, man, Fabio, you really are an early bird. There's Laura. Laura says the restaurant was crowded, and they were cooking away in the kitchen. Great. To cook away, to cook up a storm. Number 2, it all boils down to wanting to eat well. Absolutely. That's why I love to cook. Also, I've got to be honest, if you listen to the FYI episode on supermarkets recently, I live right by 3 supermarkets, like at walking distance, 3 big supermarkets. So I'm like, today I feel like making lamb, cordero, whatever. It's literally a stone's throw. O otra forma de decirlo, otra forma de decirlo. A hop, skip, and a jump. So also that's the thing too. If you don't have there's a lot of factors. It's like everything. My biggest issue, when I worked out the most, looking at it from a different perspective, when I worked out the most in my life is when the gym was in my building. You get where I'm going here? And the times I've worked out the least in my life was when the gym was far from my house. Convenience is key. Absolutely. So great job, Laura. And she says, I'll put this project on the back burner for now. Excellent job. Show with no namers. There's Chris Valrol. She says, morning, dear show with no namers. We can deal with pressure. I've been cooking. I don't know. We can deal with pressure. Or the heat. Again, there's a song that we've looked at. The heat is on. No está diciendo que se ha puesto la cale, sino que la presión está. No, ahora está la presión a tope. So remember, under pressure, bajo presión, same idea there. She says, I've been cooking, I don't know, but now I've got bigger fish to fry. I'm going to boil down the relish in order to relish the meal. I love the double trouble there. Deleitar, disfrutar. And relish también es salsa de pepinillos, folks. I love it, Chris. You know that she feels comfortable with the language when she's playing with it. Fabio says, in the pop quiz, I could pay attention to the second one. And I think the answer is it all boils down to a matter of time, for example. Great. That's right. It all very good. I like that you pointed that out, Fabio. A lot of times we use it with all. So for me, it sounds more natural. You can say it boils down to, pero como yo lo digo como frase hecha, it all boils down to, todo se reduce. So nice, Fabio. I like how you, I don't know if you pointed it out on purpose. And just be careful with how you spelled boils. All right. Let's see. We've got anybody else participating here in our pop quiz? Well, I've got to say you did a wonderful job. Wunderbar. Wunderbar. Wonderful. All right, now I've got to see what you guys heard in our pretty wacky Say What soundbite. Let's see. The first person to participate is Kubla. Let's see what Kubla heard. He usually hears it pretty well. He says it's an African American. Nope, but all right. Let's take out the African part, and you're right. It's an African-American bulky gent, so un tío grande, bulky, yelling at somebody and stating that the old times rock, regardless of the era, and big names ahead. All right, nice job. Nice job. Nice job. All right. Laura says, I heard the distorted voice of an American man who deems some big man unbelievable, and he's excited to present him. Excellent, Laura. Spot on. Spot on. Chris Valrol, she says, I heard a man who isn't having a deep conversation with another athlete, I guess. And she puts athletes in quotes. She says, I guess he's talking about something that used to be. Actually, I didn't have the foggiest idea. Chris, I saw what you did there. Yesterday, we looked at I haven't got the foggiest idea, ni la más mínima, ni la más remota, I think you say. Well, awesome job, Show and No Namers, in our pop quiz and our Say What soundbite. But right now, it's time to move on to our challenging spelling bee.
Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee.
That's right, folks. It is our spelling bee over here. And I hope you guys are ready to rock. Rev your engines. That's right, rev your engines. So I guess it has something to do with cars or engines or something like that. Yes. All right. Well, as always, this is probably one of the more challenging sections on the show, especially when we're referring to the first round. And remember, this isn't about speed. We're not trying to break the land speed record or something like that. This is about accuracy. Precisión. Is everybody ready? Let's start all of the words with a capital letter, okay, for the sake of simplicity. And here we go. The first one is CRAIG space BREEDLOVE. The next one's a number, 966.574 kilometers per hour. The third one is SPI RIT space OF space AMERICA. The fourth one is BONNE VILLE space SALT space FLATS. The fifth one is UTAH. And the sixth one is BEACH space BOYS. I'm out of breath. Well, I'll take advantage of that to tell you about Oxford English. ¿Qué tiene que ver la Universidad de Oxford con Vaughan? Pues muchísimo. Es una alegría anunciar que Vaughan ha sido certificado como centro examinador de Oxford Test of English. A partir del próximo mes de marzo 2023, podrás hacer los exámenes de Oxford Test of English en los centros de Vaughan. Si quieres más información sobre esta iniciativa de Vaughan y Oxford, puedes ver más en nuestra página web, grupovaughan.com. O bien síguenos en redes sociales para más información. Oxford Test of English con Vaughan.
Brilliant.
That's right, folks. More information at our website. It's grupovon.com. Remember to follow us on social media and download the app. And this way you're always connected to Vaughn 24/7, 365. All right, it looks like we might have a winner here on our hands. Born to Iron Man. He's having a whack at it. We looked at the word whack the other day as to kill, also to hit, but also to have a whack. Piénsalo, whack-a-mole, el juego have a whack. Toca, no te toca. Dale tú. So he's going to have a whack at it. Es lo mismo to take a stab at it. And the first one is correct. The second one is also correct. The third one is correct. The fourth one is correct. The fifth one is correct. Born to Iron Man. And the sixth one is also correct. Wow. Holy shit. Holy shit. Iba a decir holy moly, pero a veces hay que decir la palabra que es. Holy shit, man. Impressive. If I was wearing a hat right now, I would take it off. Hats off to you, buddy. All right, well, everybody. Oh, wait. Hang on. Chris Valrol right on his heels just a minute later. And Chris, it looks right at first glance. Wow, 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 wow. Impressive, impressive. It's time for round 2. The first word is CRAIG space BREEDLOVE. The second one is 966.574 kilometers per hour. The third one is SPIRIT space OF space AMERICA. The fourth one is BONNE VILLE space SALT space FLATS. The fifth one, it's a short one, UTAH. And the sixth one is BEACH space BOYS. Rev your engines, folks. We are going to set a land speed record. That's right. That's right. Today, we are going to set that record. And that's exactly what we were looking at. Also, a nice round of applause to other Show with No Namers. Lupe and Laura, who also got it as well. So that's right. Today in history, in the year 1965, a guy named Craig Breedlove set a land speed record of 600, just a little over 600 miles per hour. Now, in kilometers, that was the number we looked at, which we'll take a look at when we come back. And he did it in a car called the Spirit of America in Utah at a place called the Bonneville Salt Flats. So the Bonneville Salt, I think you call them salinas. It makes sense in English. Flat is plano, no, llano, and salt is que lleva sal. So a salt flat. Well, either way, we'll take a look at that and so much more when we come back. I can't believe it, folks. We are halfway through the show, and we've got so much to do in the second half. So if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey, amigos. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Show with No Name, Part 3, second half. Call it what you will, but make sure you play along with us. Whether you're listening via podcast, or you're listening on the Vaughn Radio app, or you're tuned in live on YouTube. No matter how, get involved. Be proactive on your English journey. And remember, our goal is not perfection. What the hell is perfection anyway? Perfección? What is that? Isn't that boring? I think so. I think perfection first doesn't exist, because that's, okay, my perfection is maybe different from your perfection, right? And people who are generally like obsessed with perfection, perfectionists as they're called. Are you with me here, folks? I'm going to say something maybe a little controversial here. They're a pain in the ass. Vaya pesados. Sorry, it's true. Just enjoy it. Like if your perfectionism is getting in the way of you enjoying something, you're doing it wrong. One of my philosophies, as you know, here with learning, not just learning English, if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. And I really believe that. That is one of my mottos. And we're going to have fun right now in a section where we take a look at words that tend to mix my students up. They're called Homophones on the show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. 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 That's right, amigos. It's homophones only on the show with no name. And thank God I prepare the script a day before. So I'm working on tomorrow's script now. El guión, las pistas de audio, the audio tracks. I'm working on those for tomorrow now. So yesterday we heard one of these words. And I almost pointed it out. And I said, no, I'm going to wait till tomorrow. So you heard this word yesterday. And I'll give you a clue. We were talking about, I'm not even going to tell you what he's called. Meep. That's all I'll say. All right. So the first word is somebody who is sly or cunning. Have you heard this before? Sly. Well, sly is short for Sylvester. So, le has visto seguras veces, si le has leído la prensa en inglés, Sly Stallone. Sly Stallone, right? So, sly, and we say the same as you, sly as a fox. Oh, he's as sly as a fox, that one over there. Sly. Okay, but I'm not looking for the word sly or cunning. I'm looking for a synonym for it. Astuto, artero. Now, if we use it to talk about an act, un acto, una acción, well, then that would be artero taimado. I've heard that one before, taimado. And I gave you a clue when we heard this word yesterday, and it was meep when we looked at the Roadrunner. I'm not going to say the other guy's name because, well, that's his name on purpose. Do you know how to pronounce it? All right, well, that's number one. We're going to see how much you were paying attention yesterday. And the second one is picha o pene. Hey, don't shoot the messenger. It's a word. Yeah, picha o pene, I swear to God. Oh, and it's also Guillermito. No, pequeño Guillermo, diminuto de Guillermo as well. Pero es pene o picha también. You need to know this stuff, guys. I'm not trying to be vulgar here. Just trying to avoid any uncomfortable situations down the road. All right, so the first word is astuto, right? Taimado, they said. And the second word is a slang word for penis, okay? And it's got another meaning, but to not confuse you, we'll look at that after. Let me give you the say what soundbite here. We've got to give it a third listen. Is everybody ready? Here we go.
Unbelievable. I'm still in a state of shock right now. In fact, I don't think I'm going to be coming down for a long period of time. Yeah, reckless abandon is what I used to be. Yeah, but Elizabeth opened up my eyes and the big man right here, the big man, yeah.
All right, there you go, my amigos. There you go. That is your Say What soundbite. That's the third listen. You're going to hear it one more time, and hopefully somebody will be able to get it all down. Let's take a look at our homophone section right now and see how y'all are doing. The first one to participate is Kubla. And Kubla, those are the correct words. And he says they aren't homophones. Born to Iron Man also participating. And those are the correct words. Good job, fellas. And he says they don't sound alike. Okay, so right now, two of my super show with no namers are saying no way. Let's see, Laura, another super show with no namer. And she says the two words are and correct. And they are not homophones. So here's my question. Did you already know this word? Or were you paying attention yesterday? Because you guys are correct. Correct. Excellent job. The first word is wily. Wily. So it sounds like the word while. I'll talk to you in a little while, but we add the E sound at the end. Wily, right? And his name is Wile E. Coyote. No, I don't know his name, El Coyote. What do you call him? In English, it's Wiley, although we all know he's not very wily. He wants to be sly, cunning, wily, but he's not. The Roadrunner, meep, always outsmarts him. Siempre le da mil vueltas en cuanto a quién es más listo. He outsmarts him. So while his name, Wile E., his initial, Coyote, Wiley Coyote. And the second word is Willie. Your Willie's out. Imagina, if somebody tells you that, you're in a bad situation. Your fly is down. La bragueta la tienes. We call it the fly, right? Your fly is down and your Willie's out. Oh my God. Well, something I always teach when I teach this one, Willie, is Johnson as well. Johnson is another way to say penis. So if your name is Willie Dick Johnson, William Richard Johnson, your name is Pene. What's your name? Willie Dick Johnson. Are you serious? Yeah, I'm serious. And remember I told you there was another usage of this word Willie, aside from being William for short, also penis, but also if something gives you the willies, y siempre se usa con el artículo y en plural. If something gives you the willies, it gives me the creeps. Me da escalofríos, pero en plan negativos, right? Oh, man. Because if something gives, oh, man, my hair standing on end, or, you give me goosebumps. That can be a good thing, depending sometimes, right? But the willies is when you get it when you're scared. Escalofríos. I've got chills, they're multiplying. Well, I've got the willies. I hope you don't get the willies on your willy. Hey, maybe before this section, you wouldn't have understood that. All right, let's go over really quickly to our vocabulary from our spelling bee. We were talking about the land speed record over here. Let's pronounce that word. So, un disco y también un récord is record, no récord, record. Hay que oír esa D también. Y el verbo, to record. Fijaos, they recorded a record. They're going to record a record. And by the way, if you haven't listened to the FYI episode on vinyl, give it a listen. It's a really special episode to me because, as many of you know, I have a collection. I wouldn't call, it's probably worth a lot of money, but it's not for sale. So there you go. It's got much more sentimental value. All right, so the first word is Craig Breedlove. It's an interesting last name. Que cría amor. To breed is procrear. O like a breeder is mamporrero. Somebody who, to breed. And it's also raza, pero no de humanos, de perros. What breed is your dog, right? We say race for humans, we say breed. And it's an irregular verb. It's breed, bred, bred. De ahí viene la expresión. Where are you from? I was born and bred in the USA, right? Born and bred. Suena igual que pan, which, by the way, there's an FYI episode on bread as well. All right. I was bred around bread. Yeah, my family, my Sicilian family had a bakery. So if you want to remember it, Alberto was bred, criado, around bread. El primero se escribe B-R-E-D. O sea, quitamos una E de breed y lo tenemos. Okay, so I just want to make sure you get the word there. But what a cool name, breed love. What do? I breed love to all humankind. That's what I do. But first, I try and beat land speed records. And he did that today in 1965. He went almost 1,000 kilometers per hour. The number was 966.574. You say coma, we say punto. So remember that. 3,4% is 3.4%, not 3,4%. Hasta escribirlo y a decirlo. Very, very different there. And make sure you're right. Kilometers per hour, miles per hour, because it's not the same as bananas. 966.574 bananas or kilometers per hour. Very different here. And also another thing, what else was I going to tell you? Oh, after the decimal point, después de la coma, everything to the right of it is not pronounced. You don't say 574, porque no es 574, es coma 574. So there's a little trick there too. So I said 966, because that's the whole number. 0.574. Now, in that case, you would round it up and you would say 0.6 kilometers per hour. But when it counts, when microseconds count, well, this is especially where it counts when you're trying to break a record. The name of the car was the Spirit of America. Very patriotic name there. The Spirit of America. And he did it at the Bonneville Salt Flats. The Bonneville Salt Flats, which are located in Utah. And number 6 was the Beach Boys. Now, what the hell do the Beach Boys have to do with setting a land speed record? Well, they wrote a song. They penned, para darte otra forma de decirlo, pen es con un boli, da igual cómo lo escribieron, se puede decir pen, un autor de libro, lo que sea. So they penned a song called Spirit of America. And it was inspired by this guy, Craig Breedlove. And wait, now that I think about it, there's a love connection here. What was the guy's name in the Beach Boys? Mike Love? Oh my God. I wonder if these guys like tennis too. All right. Well, folks, we've got to move on. We've got a lot to do on today's show, so we are going to the movies. Grab your popcorn. It's time to check out a flick. Name that movie. That's right, amigos. That's right. It's Name That Movie, only on the show with no name. And let's take a look at this movie and see if you guys recognize it. I know I say this a lot, but you can say freaking or friggin. Yo he mezclado los dos ahí. I freaking love this movie, or I friggin. Lo que cambia es no solo la K y la G, sino freaking or friggin. I friggin love it. It's a comedy. It's a classic comedy, a cult classic, and you guys changed the name in Spanish. And we looked at this the other day. We said to do a parody of something, right? Okay. We actually mentioned this movie the other day. So, again, it pays to pay attention here on the show in any English class. In any class, it pays to pay attention. This is no exception. Here we go, folks. This is our trailer. We'll see if you can guess the movie, and then we'll learn from this movie. If you know it, you know it. As soon as I say the family's last name, I would know it in an instant. The Griswold family. Should I stop? The Griswold family's cross-country drive. So drive, ahí sé que sabéis, conducir is to drive. Drive, drove, driven. Pero también es el paseo en coche, right? The drive, the road trip. So the Griswold family's cross-country drive to the Wally World theme park proves to be much more arduous than they ever anticipated. Classic. I think I've seen this one 170 million times. I love the music too. Holiday Road, Holiday Road. Oh, man. I feel like watching it right now. If I didn't have a million freaking things to do today, I would make some popcorn. Not microwave popcorn. I mean real popcorn. And watch this flick, man. Oh, and by the way, a shout out to our friends at Kinepolis. They've sponsored the show in the past, and also they sent me a free movie ticket for my birthday. Awesome. Because they know I'll spend my weight in popcorn. So that's pretty cool. If you guys are in the Kinepolis, I'm not getting paid for this, but hey, if it's free, it's for me. All right, it looks like we've got a winner. Please give it up for Chris Valrol. The flick is National Lampoon's Vacation. And then she says, sorry. No, Chris, you were right the first time. They're both awesome movies, but the original is the original. It's not Christmas Vacation. So delete that. Como te dicen, delete that tweet. You got it the first time. The flick is National Lampoon's Vacation. And as we said the other day, we talked about this. We were talking about National Lampoon's Van Wilder. Well, this is National Lampoon's Vacation. You've also got European Vacation, Christmas Vacation. Those are, again, I think these are in my top over here. And I'm a Chevy Chase fan. I like Beverly D'Angelo as well. And, I was just kidding, Chris. You didn't have to delete it. I was just kidding. So, man, that sounds, if you haven't seen this movie in English, you haven't seen it. And the script is John Hughes. I love all of John Hughes. He's like the king of the 80s. And the script was inspired by a family trip to Disneyland when he was about 5 years old. And that inspired this movie where everything that could possibly go wrong went wrong. Everything backfired, right? And really, really cool movie. It's, again, it's got these memorable lines, these memorable scenes as well. The interesting thing about these movies, though, is the kids are not consistent. So, and there's a reason for it, too. Well, there's salary. You have to agree to sign a contract. They didn't agree to do sequels or anything like that. But also, Audrey was the older sibling. Sibling is hermano, hermana. And when they reshot, because they had to reshoot the ending, they tested the ending in front of test audiences, and the audiences hated it. And they were smart. They said, all right, well, listen, if this is not the ending we're looking for here, we gotta rewrite it and refilm it. And what happens when you're a teenager, a teenage actor like that? You're growing inches every day. Estás pegando creciendo cada día. You're growing a few inches every day. So they had to change it because the guy who played Rusty, the younger brother initially, looked older because he got so tall by the end of the movie. This was Anthony Michael Hall. And he had what we call a growth spurt. Un tirón, you say? Un estirón. A growth spurt. And he was taller even than the mother in the if you notice, earlier in the movie, he's shorter than Beverly D'Angelo, and in that last scene at the theme park, he's taller than everybody. So pretty interesting there. That you gotta take all that into consideration as a producer, as a director, and I'm glad they reshot it because I've never seen the original ending, and they say that Chevy Chase and all the actors have a copy, a VHS copy. I'm sure they digitized it of the original ending, but the ending now is good. I think it works. It works. It's become a cult classic. National Lampoon's Vacation. You call it Una Familia Chiflada Loca Americana. No, something like that. Something like that. So this is a scene where Clark Griswold, played by Chevy Chase, is pulled over. And to be pulled over es que te digan, oye, al lado ahí, la policía te para. Now, you can be pulled over or you can pull over on your own. So sometimes you'll just pull over to the shoulder, el arcén, because you have a problem. But if you get pulled over, it means somebody tells you, you got to, ahí te pones, right? So Clark has just been pulled over or just gotten pulled over by a Colorado motorcycle cop, okay? And he walks up to the window, se acerca a la ventana, and Clark rolls down the window, baja la ventana, and he goes, hi, officer, what's the problem? ¿Cuál es el problema? And the motorcycle cop says to him, get out of the car. Salte del coche. And Clark, he obliges. He gets out of the car. And he goes, I don't think I was speeding. No creo que iba en exceso de velocidad. Was I weaving or something? And to weave is to move from side to side. Es tejer. Pero si piensa, si estás tejiendo con el coche, he goes, was I weaving or something? And he goes, shut your mouth, sir. Cállate la boca, señor. You know, if I weren't in uniform, si no estuviera en uniforme, I would split your skull. Rompería, dividiría tu cráneo, your skull, with the butt of this revolver. Revolver, you know, it's not only a Beatles album, it's also a weapon. There's an FYI episode on weapons, by the way. And the butt of the gun is the part you hold, the handle. So he hit him with the butt of the gun, the revolver, faster than you can say police brutality. Más rápido de que tú puedes decir police brutality es cuando la policía se pasa 3 pueblos. Very common in my country, unfortunately. And so then Clark says, well, whatever I did, I'm sure I can explain. And the motorcycle cop forcibly, a la fuerza, takes Clark by the arm, and he leads him to the rear of the car, to the bumper, el parachoques. And he sees that there's a dog leash, correa de perro, that's still tied to it. And he picks it up and he says, explain this, you son of a bitch. Explícame esto. Like, he obviously left the dog tied to the rear bumper and drove away. And yeah, the cop wasn't too happy. Nobody would be happy with that. And he goes, explain this, you son of a bitch. Now, if you don't want to be vulgar, but you still want to insult somebody, which I don't get it, you can say SOB. If somebody says, man, he's a real SOB, he's a real son of a bitch, right? Another way to say it is son of a gun. He's a real son of a gun. He's a real son of a bitch. And I'll tell you something, that's another expression we looked at in the FYI episode on weapons. And please, please don't be one of those students who says, weapons, mi arma. It's weapons. Folks, we've got to go to a quick commercial break right now. Our final commercial break. But when we come back, we've got so much to do. Double trouble. We've got to listen to our Say What soundbite again. We've got jokes. We've got birthdays. And I think the pièce de résistance, the crème de la crème, the cream of the crop. Learn with Lara, lesson 3, where we are in the kitchen cooking some tuna. Cocinando atún. Hey, true story. We'll do all that and much more when we come back. So stick around. Yeah. Yeah. Come on. With no name. Listen for your names. Here we go. Here we go. I want to send a shout out to each and every one of ya. Woo! I don't know what I'd do without ya. So, show with no naming, not blaming. We're learning and growing and doing things we knowing. We're loving, we're doing and making lots of friends. Yeah, a shout out to the show with no name crew. Yeah, this is how we do. Laura and Kubla. Yeah, Iron Man. There he is. And Salva. Yeah. Come Maria on. Jose. Where you at? Where you at? Don't forget about Monse. And Nudia. Nihad. David. Carmen. Show with no name. Jose Maria. On radio. Leo. On radio. Where you at? Subliminal. On radio. Hey, Onyx. On Edgar. Where's Vero? There she is. Paco. Elena. Joaquin. On the show with no namers. Hands up with no namers. Yeah. Lena. Show with no name is our game and it drives us insane. Every day that we're dropping in Spain. Ooh. Show with no name. You guys rock. Thank you. Thank you. Merci. Shout out to you. And if I missed you, obrigado. You know I love you too. Yeah. Cheers, mate. Show with no name. Strovsky. I don't know. Yeah. Von Radio. Making up words now. Sounds like here we go. Sounds like Polish. Strovsky. Thank you. Merci. Gracias. Woo. Show with no namers. Are you guys ready? It's time for not double trouble, but triple trouble. Double trouble, baby. Nope. Yeah, triple trouble. Give it up. Sing it. Triple. Trouble, trouble. I said triple. Triple, trouble. Triple. Triple trouble. I said triple. Double trouble. That's right, amigos. It is triple trouble today. You've got to use the same word twice. And you know what? I have a feeling, I have a hunch you're going to do just fine. See what happens when you try to say too much? When too much is happening in your brain and your mouth doesn't move fast enough? See, it just happened again. All right, well, you guys, you have to really rack your brains, exprimir los sesos, to really rack your brains here because triple trouble, and I've got to admit, it's not easy, okay? We've had easier ones. So here it is. Él no estaba hecho para ello. Así que le dije, basta ya. Estamos buscando a alguien que da la talla, que está a la altura. So, again, you got to use the same word 3 times, and it's él no estaba hecho para ello. No estaba hecho, no tiene madera para ello. Así que le dije, basta ya. Estamos buscando a alguien que da la talla, que está a la altura. All right, you got to use the same word 3 times, and now I'm going to give you the say what soundbite for the fourth time. I don't know if anybody has figured it out yet, but here we go.
Unbelievable. I'm still in a state of shock right now. In fact, I don't think I'm going to be coming down for a long period of time. Yeah, reckless abandon is what I used to be. Yeah, but Elizabeth opened up my eyes, and the big man right here, the big man, yeah.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. You've got triple trouble on the table, which nobody has figured out yet. And also, we've got to take a look at our triple trouble and our say what soundbite, because we're not going to hear either one of those again. So I'm going to buy you some time and tell you a little bit about Vaughntown. Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughntown, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughntown, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovon.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughntown. That's right, folks. If you want more information about one of our star initiatives, a groundbreaking program, it's Vaughntown. You can also find out more about our residentials, which are Vaughntown, but even more hardcore. Because at Vaughntown, you're just in there in the jungle, right? And you got to fend for yourself. Tienes que defenderte. You have to fend for yourself, se dice. But then if you go to residentials, you got all that, and then you've got like 6 hours of classes. You have to do a presentation. I used to work on residentials as a teacher, and wow. I mean, talk about, it's not a class. It's not a weekend. It's not a week. It's an experience that you'll never forget. So that's Vaughntown, and if you really want to go hardcore, OTSS, only the strong survive. Well, you can sign up for residentials. All that information is on our website, grupovon.com. Also, you can reach out to us on social media if you have any questions, or stop by any of our offices. We are located in Bilbao, Valladolid, Zaragoza, Barcelona, Valencia, Santander, Vigo, and of course, here in Madrid. So stop by. If you can't stop by in person, stop by our website or contact us via social media. We'd love to hear from you. Let's see. Speaking of hearing from you, I've got some students who are taking a stab at our triple trouble today. All right. The first person is Daniela, and she says he wasn't cut for it. So I said, cut it out. We're looking for someone to cut the mustard. You know what, Daniela? You're just missing one little word. Oh, it's great. It's not perfect, but it's great. It really is great. It's amazing. It's excellent. It really is excellent, Daniela. But you're missing one word, and it's the word out over there. To be cut out for it. Let's see. Laura says he wasn't cut out for that. Great. So I told him to cut it up. Well, see, now we got to mix them because Laura got the first part right. Daniela got the second part right. To cut it out. Hey, cut it out. Basta ya. Cut it out. Okay. So, all right. Let's see. And then the third part, we're looking for someone who makes the cut. Well, you both got that part right. To make the cut. It's a great way to say it. To make the cut or to cut the mustard. Me encanta este. Cortar la mostaza. Why was the hot dog seller upset? Because he couldn't find somebody who could cut the mustard. All right. So let me give it to you here. As always, we got to look at it. Daniela, I said it very giddy. Daniela and Laura, excellent job. Teamwork over there. So the first part, he wasn't cut out for it. You're not cut out for this. To be como que no cabes, piénsalo, no estás recortado, no cabes. You're not cut out for this. Aquí no cabes tu perfil. Think about it. It's a good way to remember it. I never thought about it like that till I was a teacher. I'm like, what does that mean? Because you just say it. You don't think cut out for. As a native speaker, you're not cut out for this. You never stop and think it has something to do with cut. That's not how native speakers think, right? My mother said he's not cut out for it. I just repeat it like a parrot. So he wasn't cut out for it. No estaba hecho para esto. No tiene madera para esto. So I told him to cut it out. Cut it out. Padres, hay que saber esa. When your kid starts acting up, you tell them, cut it out. To act up, I think from context, you can tell is to misbehave, right? Kids will be kids, right? And then the last part, we are looking for someone who makes the cut or makes the grade, pero entonces no sería un triple trouble. So great job to make the cut or to cut the mustard. And the word that we use there 3 times is the word cut. One of the greatest things about the word cut is, well, let's conjugate it together. Every day, I cut my finger. Yesterday, I cut my finger. And lately, I've cut my finger. So it's cut, cut, cut. Just like let, and set, set, set. All right, well, folks, we've got to move on because we've got a birthday party to get to. It's famous birthday trivia. That's right, amigos. That's right. You know it. It's famous birthdays only on the show with no name. And here's where we're going to take a look at some people who are celebrating a birthday today. My birthday is coming up, folks. I can't believe it. Like the other day, I looked at the calendar and I was like, wait a second here. I said, what? My birthday's in less than 5 days. My birthday's this coming Sunday. The good news, bad news. The good news is I don't have to work. The bad news is I'm not going to spend the day with you guys. And in fact, I have a little intimate plan. The older I get, the less of a party I want, So we're just going to get together with my family like we would on any given Sunday. That's all. We already went to Portaventura. My wife took me there, and just spending time with my family, that's the greatest gift ever. Oh, isn't that magical? Chris Valrol, I love it. We skipped the joke section, but she's got a joke for us. And she says, curious English. It's not the same to cut the mustard than to cut the cheese. I love it, Chris. I love the way you think. It's not the same to cut the mustard, dar la talla, estar a la altura, than to cut the cheese. Cutting the mustard, great. Cutting the cheese, no thanks. And cut the shit. What if I tell you cut the shit? It's cut it out. It's basta ya. So no es literalmente corta. Yeah, you got to know this stuff. And this is all related somehow to the kitchen, right? Where do we cut in the kitchen? We chop things. Wow, the word chop has a million meanings. And they're all in the episode. The episode and I call it an episode and a chapter because it's both. You've got the chapter of English everywhere that we listen to part of it. And you've got the book as well. So you've got the chapter and the episode. So awesome. Great joke, Chris. And I love the way you think. Let's see if you know whose birthday it is today. The first person never made it as a wise man. He couldn't cut it as a poor man stealing. This is how you remind me of what I really am. This is how you remind me of what I really am. I'm sure you're very familiar with this group. They've got a couple famous songs: Photograph, Far Away, Rockstar. That's a good one, Rockstar. But I think this is their hit. If you go see these guys in concert, this Canadian band with this guy as the lead singer, and they don't play that song, you'll this is how you remind me of what I really am. What a great song it is. The group is called Nickelback, and it's the lead singer's birthday. Number 2, she was born today in 1951. She played Ellen Griswold in the National Lampoon's Vacation films. She was also in a relationship with Al Pacino for many, many years as well. She was in The Coal Miner's Daughter in 1980, which I didn't see that one, but she was nominated for a Golden Globe and also for an Emmy as her role as Stella Kowalski in the TV film A Streetcar Named Desire. She's also been in American History X, but I'll never forget, I discovered her as the mom, Ellen Griswold, in the National Lampoon's Vacation movies. And last but not least, my daughter and I love to wrestle, hacer la lucha, el pressing catch. And sometimes I'm Hulk Hogan, and sometimes I'm this guy, his arch nemesis, who became his best friend. You remember when that happened? I hope so, because that's today's Say What soundbite. The moment two arch enemies shook hands, se dieron la mano, and became one of the most powerful teams in the history of the WWF. Yeah, cuando yo era un chaval era WWF, the World Wrestling Federation. But then they realized that's the World Wildlife Federation too. ¿Y quién ganó? Pues la naturaleza ahí. So now it became World Wrestling Entertainment, WWE, I believe. All right, we've got a winner. Give it up for Chris Valrol. Chad Kroger. Chad Kroger, the lead singer of Nickelback. Number 2, Beverly D'Angelo. And number 3, Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh, yeah. Macho Man. My daughter says, I'm Macho Man. I'm like, I'm Hulk Hogan. I'm a Hulkamaniac. We both imitate, because we watch them and then we imitate them and then we wrestle. I swear to God. And this is Randy Savage, Macho Man, finally shaking hands and announcing that they were going to team up, hacer equipo. And he goes, unbelievable. I'm going to try and imitate him without losing my voice. Unbelievable. I'm still in a state of shock right now. Estoy en un estado de shock ahora mismo. In fact, I don't think I'm going to come down for a long period of time. No me voy a bajar por mucho tiempo de esta nube, ¿no? Yeah, reckless abandon. Abandono reckless, como hacer las cosas a lo loco, was what I used to be. Es como yo antes era. But Elizabeth opened up my eyes. Elizabeth, his wife and manager. Oh, I love Miss Elizabeth. The big man right here. The big man. Yeah. And he's talking about Hulk Hogan.
Unbelievable. I'm still in a state of shock right now. In fact, I don't think I'm going to be coming down for a long period of time. Yeah, reckless abandon is what I used to be. Yeah, but Elizabeth opened up my eyes, and the big man right here, the big man, yeah.
All right, folks, there it is, Randy Macho Man Savage. And it's time for Learn with Lara, Lesson 3. Get ready to learn with Lara.
Come on. Let's go, amigos.
That's right, folks. Welcome to another Learn with Lara section. This is Lesson 3. And as always, I just want you to pay attention to how my daughter is not really, putting things. She's not trying to apply any kind of logic. She's not asking why. She's just repeating. And I gently correct her. And I think one of the keys is I keep her talking, okay? And I keep asking her questions, and I keep having her ask me questions. And that's the same thing I would do in a class. The only thing is, in my classes, a lot of times, my students are like, is this the present perfect continuous? And I'll always answer them, but then my next question is always the same. What difference does it make? Here's Learn with Lara, Lesson 3.
With this plate.
This plate over here. Okay, so what was the first thing we did before we started to cook?
And wash our hands.
We washed our hands. Really good. Okay, and what are our ingredients? What do we have here?
We have tuna and
Oil, olive oil.
olive oil.
You like olives? Well, I love you. You like my joke? I love you. That's a good joke.
I love you.
Do you have any jokes for me?
I love you.
So I love you, the letter, and you said I love E. Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, well now
I love E.
I love W.
I love olive.
Olives. I love olives too. Now what are we gonna do? We're gonna put the
It was
tuna.
just a joke up there.
Oh, okay. It was a joke. Now let me ask you this. What is this called here? Do you know? This is called the pan,
Yeah, the pan.
the frying pan. And we're gonna fry the tuna. Not yet. We don't need the oil. You know why? We're waiting. Do you know why we're waiting?
Why?
Ask me. Why are we waiting, Poppy?
Why we waited?
Because we don't want to put the tuna in a cold pan. So the pan has to get hot,
hot.
right?
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to cook the tuna. We're going to cook it on both sides.
Yeah. Can
And-
I do the both sides?
Yeah, you want to flip it? Yeah?
Pero con cuidadito.
Yeah, because this is cold, right? This pan is cold?
Yeah.
No.
No.
I fooled you. What is it?
It's
It's hot.
hot.
And if you touch something that's hot, what happens?
You burn.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You burn your finger or you
cuando-
get burned. Yeah.
Cuando tenía 3, pues toqué y me quemó el dedo.
Oh, poor baby. Well, you know what? Daddy learned that way too. Remember, when I was a little kid, I remember Grandma said to me, "Don't touch the stove. It's hot."
Eh.
And you know what I did?
You touch it.
I touched it. Yeah. And you know what happened to my finger?
You burn.
And you know what I did?
You did like this.
I screamed
Yeah.
because it hurt a lot.
Y yo cuando ponía el dedo, tú me dijiste que no ponía el dedo ahí y yo no te hice caso y poní el dedo ahí cuando tenía 3 años y me has dicho que no y yo me atrevería y cuando tú me dijiste que no y me lo acabas de poner así.
You screamed, right? But you know what?
Yeah,
It's okay because sometimes our mommy and papi can prevent it. They can tell us before. But
Tengo tu
sometimes,
nariz.
wait, you just stole my nose. Wait. I need my nose. What do I need my nose for?
Para poner gafas.
Tell me in English.
For putting some glasses of sun.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sunglasses. I can put on some sunglasses. Okay, you know what we're going to do?
Por el humo.
Oh, yeah. No, you can get really, really burned. One day you touched what? Nice job, amigos. And thanks for learning and laughing with us here every day on the show with no name. Newsflash. We interrupt our regularly scheduled program to bring you this breaking news. Attention all show with no namers. As of January 2024, the Show with No Name live stream will be available exclusively to my patrons. If you'd like to continue to watch the show daily and participate in real time, join us at patreon.com/Alberto Alonso. And what is Patreon, you may ask? Well, as many of you know, I've been teaching for over 20 years. I've taught all kinds of people, from famous folks to young kids. And with a background in acting, I love communication. I have a radio show that's been on the air for 15 years and a very successful podcast called FYI. I've also written 5 books and have appeared on numerous TV and radio programs. But the thing I'm most proud of is this curious community on Patreon that we are creating every day together. And I really think you should join us. For as little as €3 a month, you can have access to Show with No Name live stream daily. Every week you can get a bonus episode of FYI. Also PDFs so you can follow the podcast. And the moment you sign up, you'll have access to an archive of over 1,000 posts. You'll also get early access to all my content. And a new feature, a chat, so you can have direct access to me and your fellow students. And most of all, you'll be a part of a curious community of people just like you, English explorers. Consider joining us on Patreon for as little as €3 a month, and you'll get access to so many English resources. And I highly recommend you sign up for a yearly membership. This way you make a commitment and you'll also save 10%. And don't take my word for it. Just ask some of my interstellar students.
I've already improved my pronunciation, and as a consequence, I've gained a lot of confidence in my speaking. Thanks to our weekly review class and our monthly masterclass, where, by the way, to top it off, we have a lot of fun. In a nutshell, if you are willing to better your English, much more, in a fun way, you won't regret it if you join us.
Alberto is a passionate teacher, an excellent communicator, and what I think is key, he's able to put himself in the student's shoes. He's always willing to help. You'll have access to a wide range of topics every week, bonus content, vocabulary receipts, weekly review classes, monthly master classes, and so on. I think it's much more than just learning English. So go to Patreon, have a look around, and give it a try.
Because it has helped me keep my English in check and improve my language skills in the most fun way, because his podcast is really, really, really entertaining and fun, and so are the classes that we have afterwards to revise and go over the vocabulary and just discuss interesting topics. So if you're considering becoming a Patreon, don't hesitate, because that's a great way to improve your English.
We now return you back to your regularly scheduled program. So what are you waiting for? Learn and laugh with us in our curious community over on patreon.com/Alberto Alonso. See you there.